Critical Role has created something truly special. Carving out a unique, decade and counting long phenomenon is a feat in and of itself, but their success is even more impressive considering how these titans of the tabletop actual play industry debuted with minimal fanfare. As 8 professional voice actors improvised their way through Dungeons & Dragons dice rolls, spell slots, and thrilling twists, their weekly live streams stealthily escalated into an electrifying celebration of creativity, community, and storytelling. To date, 4 main campaigns, 2 high fantasy worlds vast enough to rival the greats, a multimedia empire, and a full-time professional endeavor have emerged from what began as an entertaining hobby. Crafting Critical Role may have been accidental, but the cast transposing their first 2 campaigns into an animated medium was intentional. Prime Video's The Legend of Vox Machina retains the major beats of their debut adventure while retroactively streamlining certain arcs into the cohesive flow that purposefully written drama requires. Critical Role's second animated adaptation with Prime Video, The Mighty Nein, follows suit, but if you'll forgive the cheeky reference, levels up. Together with executive producer Tasha Huo and the artisans at Titmouse Studio, The Mighty Nein distinguishes itself as a different beast than its fun-loving predecessor, a moodier cinematic tone matched by more substantive world-building, ruthless themes, and heartbreakingly flawed characters. With no slight intended towards the accomplished and sleek Vox Machina, Critical Role's refusal to take the easy way out and regurgitate their successful formula is precisely the right risk and reward. The Mighty Nein doesn't need to find its feet. This mature venture sticks the landing for established fans and newcomers alike, and stands an excellent chance of becoming a modern fantasy classic.
What is The Mighty Nein about? 2 decades after the Legend of Vox Machina, a missing ancient device tips 2 of Exandria's mightiest forces closer to war. On the continent of Wildmount lies the Kryn Dynasty and the Dwendalian Empire, 2 monarchies separated by a mountain range and a perilous political climate. The neighboring realms are beset by subterfuge, conspiracies, strategic corruption, and individuals of a well-intentioned yet morally gray persuasion. The dynasty's Pride Queen suspects Dwendalian's King Bertrand of stealing the beacon, her people's venerated religious relic and a potent arcane artifact. Inside this brewing storm skulk Exandria's latest unlikely champions. Thrown together by chance while pursuing their separate agendas, few of them harbor heroic aspirations. Take Caleb Widogast, a morose wizard burdened by hunched shoulders and self-loathing. Caleb isn't used to generosity, tenderness, or someone who makes him laugh, and for good reason. He potentially discovers that combination in Nott the Brave, a goblin pickpocket who's equally unaccustomed to friendship. Tiny yet lethal with a crossbow, Nott drowns her sorrows in alcoholism in between bouts of body ferociousness. Another uncensored outcast, Beauregard Lionett, treads in more decorous circles as a monk of the Cobalt Soul, an organization of scholars, librarians, and ultra-spies. She's an investigator in training, yet Beau's restless anger and habit of solving problems with her mean right hook keeps self-sabotaging her career potential. Over in the Menagerie Coast, the artistic, mischievous, and joyfully lewd tieflinged Jester Lavore flees the only home she's known after one of her many pranks backfires. Accompanied by her equally chaotic and invisible best friend, who may or may not be a god, Jester drags a handsome half-orc stranger into her orbit, Fjord Stone, a shipwrecked sailor with nothing except the clothes on his back. He'd rather grieve his losses in peace, but he agrees to escort Jester to safety because he's a sincere, respectful, and awkward guy trying his best. Elsewhere, the relentlessly charismatic Mollymock Tea Leaf helps oversee a roaming carnival of curiosities. When not conducting tarot readings, the devilish tiefling is haunted by cryptic omens he purposefully ignores in favor of living life to the fullest. Yashat Nidodoran, a mysterious warrior with a near-mythical reputation, rounds out the main actors but skirts the story's edges. Flawed characters and complex themes are the Mighty Nine's secret weapon.
Unlike the Legend of Vox Machina's established group dynamics, the Mighty Nine charts how vehemently different strangers converge, clash, and grow, inch by teeth-gritting inch, into a somewhat united front. Even though Vox Machina's members are molded by their grim pasts, the Nine's origins are woven out of a more intricate and contemplative cloth. The resulting tapestry spotlights an ensemble fundamentally altered by trauma, abuse, grief, isolation, persecution, and PTSD. Given how battered, bruised, and profoundly vulnerable they are, every character responds to their personal dark night of the soul with fear, rage, guilt, insecurity, and uncertainty, substance addiction, or suicide ideation. Because they forge their tentative bonds by accident or under duress, these lost souls need an active reason to stay together beyond their matching scars. Reciprocal trust isn't as easy as an instantaneous spell. Designed with multi-season arcs in mind, the Mighty Nine presents redemption, healing, and friendship as a marathon down a circuitous path, not a sprint, and broaches sensitive topics with care rather than caricature. By unveiling the team's empathetic motivations and allowing them to make a range of messy, regressive, or unsettling choices, the Mighty Nine renders their collective and individual journeys as keenly moving to watch as they are narratively rich. By the time they demonstrate compassionate loyalty, the series has undergone rigorous lengths to ensure the still burgeoning progression is earned. Never fear, however, both the clashes and the banter provide quirky charm and raucous antics in spades.
The Mighty Nine expands the world of Exandria.
From a lore standpoint, the Mighty Nine expands Exandria's landscape. Although contained to Wildemount, each region is distinctly realized. The Kryn Dynasty's elaborate architecture and bleaker, depleted tones, the warm ocean tides of Nicodranus, the Zemni Fields' countryside greenery. Aside from providing a wider sense of all this world contains, observing how other civilizations, religions, and power structures operate contextualizes and validates the Nine's pasts, presents, and future. In this story, weaponized nationalism, psychological indoctrination, and interspecies racism are more insidious threats than a conclave of dragons. Magic systems also receive more attention, down to the nitty-gritty summoning details and personalized color coding. Since all 8 episodes run approximately 45 minutes, the slower pace gives this added texture appropriate room to breathe. It would be quite remiss not to mention the Mighty Nine's supporting cast. This series has assembled the kind of majestic roll call one daydreams about. Ming-Na Wen, Alan Cumming, Angelica Houston, Mark Strong, Raul Coley, Tinia Miller, Nathan Fillion, Anakanoni Rose, Ali Cravalho, Jonathan Frakes, Ivana Sakno, and even Tim McGraw. Meanwhile, the main performers remain at the top of their game, pouring out wrenching vulnerability and cutting humor. It's also a boon that Exandria's architect, Matthew Mercer himself, assumes a more pronounced and refined role this time out as fan favorite Essek Thelis, an enigmatic, riveting, and sympathetic resident of the Kryn Dynasty. Ultimately, the Mighty Nine concerns itself with forging a home for all of us broken things. The series reinterprets the original campaign's path by integrating new perspectives and organically tying major plots together, yet retains its kinetic energy, crucial themes, and chemistry. The Legend of Vox Machina hit the ground running and has improved season to season, and the Mighty Nein benefits from that experience with assured construction, vibrant animation, and a smattering of Easter eggs for good measure. If Prime Video grants the Mighty Nein as many seasons as its poignant story deserves, then its fully realized vision might just join Arcane's ranks as a contemporary animated masterpiece.